after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to achieve the success of Krishna Prema. Once again, I thank everyone for joining the Bhakti Sangha conference call today. Let us move on to the next session, which is Srimad Bhagavatam class. Before going to that, I would like to request devotees to pray for Yashomati Mataji. She's undergoing through surgery today for her speedy recovery and wishing every success in this surgery. I would like to request devotees pray for her health and surgery and recovery. Hare Krishna. So let's move on to the next session, next topic, next session. So may all know who all have gone. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, Srila Prabhupada. This is Srimad Bhagavatam. It's just 7:14, Mataji.
Yeah.
No, that is what Padma Mataji is saying. May I know who all joined this morning, Mataji? That is what she's asking.
Okay. Yeah.
All have joined and please.
Hare Krishna Padma Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Maharaj ki jai, Priti Dasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Priti Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji, Dandavad Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devi Dasi from Texas. Happy Ekadasi to everyone. Our prayers to dear Yashomati Mataji, who's going to for a surgery today, and Komatiki Mataji and Pooja Arora Mataji. Let us all pray for them. Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, happy Ekadasi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Vinita Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, happy Ekadasi to everyone and our prayers for all Matajis. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Please go ahead and introduce yourself, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Padma Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharajas, and all glories to the assembled devotees. This is Tiffany in Pennsylvania. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Padma Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajas. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devi Dasi from Lani.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to assembled devotees. This is Mohini Laxmi. Thank you, great.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Is there anybody who would like to introduce themselves?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to you and all devotees present here. All glories to Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada. This is Eka Radhika Leela Devi Dasi.
Hare Krishna, Eka Radhika Leela Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Let's go to the introduction. Today we are fortunate to have Her Grace Narayani Devi Dasi Mataji for enlightening us on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, 16th chapter and 53 and 54 verses. Today we are fortunate to have Her Grace Narayani Devi Mataji for enlightening on the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th Canto, 16th chapter, 53 and 54 verses. I would like to give this call to Tiffany Mataji to give a brief introduction about Mataji. Hare Krishna, Tiffany Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. Please take over the call, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and happy Ekadasi to you all. Today, we are so very fortunate to have with us Her Grace, Narayani Laxmi Mataji. Mataji is the disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. Born to pious parents in a Vaishnava family, her spiritual life is anointed with the instructions of His Grace Kamal Lochan Prabhu in form of her Shiksha Guru, the temple president of ISKCON Mira Road in Mumbai. Her inclinations in performing arts, in particular music and dance, after 2 years of formal training, was especially nourished by her mother for fine-tuning. Narayani Laxmi Dasi's release of the 700 slokas of Bhagavad Gita, Mukund Mala, Bhagavad Pratanavala, Stavamala, and many Vaishnav songs in her melodious voice adds to the glory of divine contribution. Her deep faith in serving cows makes her the director of many companies, including Boasar Farm, Echo Mitra, and Golakshmi Farm, which represents her as a person possessing organizational, leadership, managerial, and a good planner. Mataji has acquired excellence in understanding the Bhagavad Gita as it is, Srimad Bhagavatam, and various spiritual texts, and hence kindles the spiritual minds of a big congregation as a spiritual counselor heading the Jagannath ISKCON Center in Thane. She is an IDC and Bhakti Shastri teacher guiding the students in the path of spirituality. She is also a devotee care core member of Radha Giridhari Temple. Narayani Mataji has been honored by awards from top politicians for her work towards social causes. Notably, presentation of COVID Warrior Award by MLA Gopal Shetty in recognition of her work in distributing prasadam to displaced people during the pandemic. These are only some of the beautiful services Mataji has performed to help further Srila Prabhupada's mission. We are so very fortunate to have her with us today. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. I don't know, do we see her in the call yet? If not, let's see her yet. Maybe we can continue introducing ourselves.
Hare Krishna, this is Sukakar Krishnadas from Chennai. Padma Mataji, Dandat Pranam, humble obeisances.
Hare Krishna, Sukar Krishnadas Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Padma Mataji, and Dr. Karpagwalli from Tamil Nadu, Kanyakumari district, India.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Guru and Gauranga.
Hare Krishna Kalpapalli Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to the assembled Vaishnavas on the call. Vasundhara Devi Dasi from Bangalore, India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Vasundhara Devi Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for joining the call, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Padma Mataji joined.
Oh, yes, Mataji. Okay, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Maharaj. Thank you very much for giving your valuable association this morning, Mataji, and enlightening us the topic of Srimad Bhagavatam, 6th canto, 16th chapter, 53 and 54 verses, Mataji. Hare Krishna. My humble obeisances, Mataji. On to you, Mataji, please do.
It is 16 chapters? 6 chapters? 16th.
16th
6th canto, 16th chapter, 53 and 54, right?
Yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Jai Radha Mother will be over.
Sure, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
Okay. So it should start right to the verse. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Yatha shushuptaha purusho Vishwam pashyati chatmani Atmanam ekadeshastham Manyate swapna uttitaha Evam jagarnadini जीवस्थानानि चात्मनः माया मात्राणि विज्ञाय तद्द्रष्टारं परं स्मरेत्. So this is a wonderful verse from the 16th chapter, 53rd and 54th verse. Chitraketu meeting the Lord appearing before him. So he met Adishesha, who is none other than Krishna himself. He has done a lot of tapasya, that is why Lord appears before him. Again, for doing the tapasya, it is Narada who taught him a wonderful verse and told that you do this, you chant this verse and do the tapasya. So all these verses are before. So we'll deal with this verse. Yatha shushuptaha purushaha. Yatha. Yatha means just as. Shushuptaha, sleeping. Purushaha, a person. Vishwam pashyati chatmani. Yatha purushaha, yatha shushupto purusho. Vishwam pashyati chatmani. Vishwam, the whole universe. Pashyati, perceives. Cha atmani, also in himself. Atmanam ekadeshastham manyate swapna uttitaha. Atmanam, himself, ekadeshastham, lying down in one place. Manyate, he considers. Swapne uttitaha, uttitaha, in a dreaming condition, he considers that as a waking. Uttitaha means waking up. Evam, in this way, jagarana adini, evam jagaranadini, evam jagaranadini. Thus, evam, in this way, the states of wakefulness and so on. Jivasthanani chatmanaha, the living entities, different conditions of existence. Jivasthanani cha atmanaha. Atmanaha. So also Atmanaha, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Maya matrani vigyaya, the exhibitions of the illusory energy. Maya matrani vigyaya, knowing. Tad drashtaram param smaret, of them, drashtaram, the creator or seer of all such conditions. Param smaret, supreme smaret, one should always remember. So one of you want to chant this verse? One or two devotees can chant the verse. Then we can take translation and purport.
Yes, Mataji. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
यथा सुसुप्तः पुरुषो विश्वं पश्यति तात्मनि आत्मानं एकदेशस्थं मन्यते स्वप्न उत्थिताः एवं जाग्रानिदानि जीवस्थानानि चात्मनः माया मात्राणि विज्ञाय तद्द्रष्टारं परं स्मरेत्.
तद्द्रष्टारं, द्रष्टारं. Okay, anyone else?
Mataji, Hare Krishna Matandalatnam. Yata susupta purusho visam pasyati chatmani atmanam ekadesastam manyate swapna
उत्थिता एवं जगत्नि Mataji, can you read? Jagar,
एवं
Jagar,
जगरणादीनि
एवं जगन्नादीनि जीवास्थानानि चात्मनां मायामत्राणि विज्ञाया तद्दृष्टं परं स्मरेत्. Thank you, Mataji.
Anybody else wants to join? One more. Padma?
यथा सुषुप्ता पुरुषो विश्वं पश्यन्ति आत्मानाम् एकदेशस्थं मन्यते स्वप्न उत्थितः एवं जगारानादानि जीवस्थानानि च आत्मनः मायामन्त्राणि विज्ञाय तद्द्रष्टारां परं स्मरेत्.
Okay. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When a person is in deep sleep, he dreams and he sees in himself many other objects, such as great mountains and rivers, or perhaps even the entire universe, although they are far away. Sometimes when one awakes from a dream, he sees that he is in a human form, lying in his bed in one place. Then he sees himself in terms of various conditions as belonging to a particular nationality, family, and so on. All the conditions of deep sleep, dreaming, and wakefulness are but energies of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should always remember the original creator of these conditions, the Supreme Lord who is unaffected by them. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. None of these conditions of the living entities, namely deep sleep, dreaming, and wakefulness, is substantial. They are simply displays of various phases of conditional life. There may be many mountains, rivers, trees, bees, tigers, and snakes. They are situated far away. But in a dream, one may imagine them to be nearby. Similarly, as one has subtle dreams at night, when the living entity is awake, he lives in gross dreams of nation, community, society, possessions, skyscrapers, bank balance, position, and honor. Under the circumstances, one should know that his position is due to his contact with the material world. One is situated in different positions in various forms of life that are all but creations of the illusory energy, which works under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, the Supreme Lord is the ultimate actor, and the conditioned living entity should simply remember the original actor, Sri Krishna. As living entities, we are being carried away by the waves of Prakriti or nature, which works under the Lord's direction. Maya Dhakshena Prakriti Suyate Sacharacharam. Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings, Miche Mayaravashe Yacha Deshe Khacha Habu Dubu Bhai. Why are you being carried away by the waves of illusory energy in various phases of dreaming and wakefulness? These are all creations of Maya. Our only duty is to remember the supreme director of this illusory energy, Krishna. For us to do this, the Shastra advises us, Harirnam, Harirnam, Harirnam Niva Kevalam, Kalau Naste Vanaste Naste Patiranvatha. One should constantly chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. The Supreme Lord is realized in three phases, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. But Bhagavan is the ultimate realization. One who realizes Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the most perfect Mahatma. Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. In the human form of life, one should understand the Supreme Personality of God. For then one will understand everything else. Yasmin Vikyate Sarvam Evam Vikyatam Bhavati. According to this Vedic injunction, simply by understanding Krishna, one understands Brahman, Paramatma, Prakriti. The illusory energy, the spiritual energy, and everything else. Everything will be revealed. Prakriti, the material nature, is working under the direction of the Supreme Lord, and we living entities are being carried away by various phases of Prakriti. For self-realization, one should always remember Krishna, as stated in Padma Puran, Smartavya Satatam Vishnu. We should always remember Lord Vishnu. Vismartavya na jatuchit. We should never forget the Lord. This is the perfection of life. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So very important verse, how a living entity is conditioned in this material world. So the 3 stages has been spoken: Sushupti, Jagrana, and Sapna. Sushupti, Sapna, Jagrana, you can say. Sushupti means sleeping condition. Sapna is put in between. Jagrana is in the 3rd position. So in the sleeping state also, a person dreams, or can say he is in illusion. And in the Jagrana also, he is sleeping. In Jagrana also, he is in illusion. That means he is dreaming. In sleeping, he is dreaming. In wakefulness also, he is dreaming. One is a gross dream and one is a subtle dream. Subtle dream is while he is sleeping, and gross dream is while he is awake. Whatever it may be, illusion is illusion only. One is subtle illusion and one is gross illusion. Srila Prabhupada writes. Now, in subtle illusion, what happens? He sees tiger in the dream. He's seeing a tiger in the dream. We are taking an example. He's seeing tiger in the dream and he's so afraid. And then he wakes up. Oh, it was a dream. Then he goes to zoo. There he sees a real tiger. Then that is also counted as gross illusion. Whatever we see around us, including our body, is actually illusion. This whole material world seems to be real. Seems to be real, but it is temporary. It is not that it is unreal. It seems to be real, but it is temporary. Though it is unreal, but it is temporary. But that unreal is not that it is not existing. Jagat Satyam, one of the Navaprameyam, which is given by Sripad Madhvacharya, the first line itself is Jagat Satyam. This material world is not false. It is true, but it is temporary. What we see around is actually the forms taken by the living entity. The forms go on changing. In one birth, the living entity may take the form of a tiger and consider this body to be everything. Another bird, some other species. And in this way comes to a human form. When he comes to the human form, he has got a human intelligence. And in that human intelligence, he can identify, or he has got the intelligence to know that whatever forms I am seeing, these forms are just temporary forms. It is just the product of the 24 elements. It's a product of Maya. It's a product of 24 elements. So what happens is, where is Maya? Somebody asks, where is Maya? Maya is there in our consciousness, in our perception, Maya is there in our perception. It is not that a woman is a Maya. No. How I look at the woman as mother. It's not money is a Maya. How I utilize it. So Maya means one which is not, or one which is not seen as a part of Krishna. Simple. One which is not seen in connection with Krishna. Then that is Maya. I see something different from Krishna's energy. And that is Maya. And I think that I can utilize it for my sense enjoyment. That is Maya. Ishavasem idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Everything belongs to Krishna. So seeing something different from Krishna and trying to enjoy the senses. That is Maya. So when you see, when a person is in a wakeful condition, at that time he's seeing the things around and he tries to identify himself with that particular sense object. So Srila Prabhupada says nationality, community, society, family. So in this way, he is trying to identify himself with that particular family. Who are you? Oh, I'm a businessman. I belong to this family. I'm a Marwadi. I'm a Punjabi. I'm a Tamilian. So in this way, trying to identify with a particular community. So that is mine. That is mine. And that is unreal. It is temporary, right? It is temporary, but it is unreal. So this unreal word is for temporary. It is not that the material world is false, because according to Sripad Adi Shankaracharya, material world is false. And they give the example of rope and snake. But then Vaishnavas say, if you have seen the rope to be a snake, if you see the snake to be a rope, vice versa also you can take. That is your fault. There is a rope hanging and I thought there is a snake hanging. And that is my problem. That was not the problem of the rope. In the same way, this whole material energy belongs to Krishna. But I saw that as Maya. Oh, this is unreal. That is my problem. So, energy is Krishna's. This material energy belongs to Krishna. Mayadhikshena prakritihi suyate sacharacharam. Krishna very clearly says, this whole material world is under my supervision. Now, Bahunam janmanamante jnanvanman prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. We have heard this verse. So who is a Jnani Purusha? One who knows the three features of Krishna. Now material world is Jada Brahman. So Lord's three features, Brahman, Paramatma, Bhagavan. So now Brahman, Jada Brahman, where Krishna is present in each and every atom. Krishna is not lost for even a fraction of a second for a self-realized soul, because he sees Krishna in each and everything. Stavara jangama dekhi na dekhe taramurti sarvatra hoye nija ishtadeva spurti. What is he seeing everywhere? He is seeing Stavara jangama dekhi. Stavara means non-moving. Whenever he is seeing non-moving, moving, what is he seeing? Thavara jangama dekhi na dekhi taramurti. He is not seeing that as it is. Sarvatra hoye nija ishtadeva spurti. He is seeing that as an opulence of Krishna. So that is the vision of a self-realized soul. That is how you can understand that Ishavasyam idam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. Everything belongs to Krishna. So Lord's three features, Brahman, Paramatma. So Paramatma, Lord is situated in each and everyone's heart as Paramatma. That is how is Upadrashta Anumantaha, Krishna says. Upadrashta Anumanta cha bharta bhukta maheshwara. Paramatmeti chapito dehesmin purusha para. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 13th chapter. Now, a devotee, how he sees Krishna's wonderful form, Bhagavan. A wonderful form with wonderful personality. He has all the six qualities in full. Aishwarasya, Samagrasya, Viryasya, Yashasashriyaha, Jnana Vairagyascha, Shannam Bhaga Itingana. Now, Bahunam Janmanamante, Jnanavan Mam Prapatyate, Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabha. He is understanding who is Vasudeva. So now, Vasudeva has three meanings. Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam. Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam. Yes, he is Vishuddha Sattvam. Vishuddha means Vishesha Rupena Shuddha. Vishuddha Rupena Shuddha. Their Bhagavan feature has been spoken. Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam. This is one of the meaning of Vasudeva. Another meaning of Vasudeva. Now, Vishuddha Sattvam Vasudeva Shabditam indicates Brahman. Indicates Bhagavan aspect. Now for Brahman, Vasudeva. Vasati iti sarvatraha Vasudeva. He is present in each and every atom, molecule, every place. He cannot be stopped entering anywhere. That is why when Hiranyakashipu is asking, is your Lord there in the pillar? What is the answer given? Yes. Prahlad Maharaj says, yes, he is there in the pillar. There is not a single place where Lord is not there. Then how Lord can be lost? So a self-realized soul sees Lord everywhere. Sarvatra hoye nija ishtadeva spurti. He is seeing Lord everywhere. That is why Lord is not lost even for a fraction of a second. Then Vasudeva, another meaning of Vasudeva for Paramatma. It indicates even Paramatma. So Sarvamiti Vasati Vasudeva is for Brahman. Vasati iti sarvatraha Vasudeva. Vasati iti sarvatraha. He is present in each and every one. That is Paramatma. He is present in each and every body. That is why he knows the desires of each and every one. As Brahman, he is present in the Jadavastu. As Paramatma, he is present in the living entity's body, or the living entity, and the living entity takes a body, he is also present. He is present. There are two seers. You can say there are two Kshetragya. One is Jivatma and one is Paramatma. So it takes thousands and thousands of janmas for a Jnani to understand Lord as Vasudeva, one who is Brahman, one who is Paramatma, the same person is Bhagavan. So here, that aspect has been spoken. Reject all the impermanent objects, unreal objects. One has to reject it. Impermanent, unreal objects. And just worship Paramatma or Antaryami. That has been spoken in these two verses. When you are seeing a dream, at that time you are seeing some unreal object. And when you are awake, you find, oh, that object is not near me. And when I'm awake, again I am seeing some object. And immediately I consider that to be real. But that is impermanent. Though real, but impermanent. That is also counted as unreal only. But that unreal meaning is what? That is impermanent. That is what Krishna shows even to Arjuna. That what you're seeing before you, they are already killed by me. You consider them as your grandfather. That body is already impermanent. You consider that to be permanent. So that is how Sankhya Yoga speaks about how this body is perishable. Soul is imperishable. Whole 11th verse to 30th verse, Krishna is speaking about this only in Bhagavad Gita. So whatever we see things around or whatever we try to connect ourselves and forget our constitutional position as servant of Krishna. But that doesn't mean that I develop hatred for the things around. I see things around and try to utilize it for my sense gratification. That is my problem. So then we are not into being a Falgu Vairagi also. Who is a Falgu Vairagi? Who considers even Hari Sambandhi Vastunaha, that to be Maya, and tries to reject everything. But who is a Yukta Vairagi? Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatharham Upayunjataha Nirbandaha Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Tatyate. So he is a Yukta Vairagi. He is not attached to anything around. To such an extent, he is not attached. He does not neglect taking care of his body because he knows that it belongs to Krishna. The body, the soul, everything belongs to Krishna. That is why he does not neglect taking care of the body. He utilizes the body in Krishna's service. Anasaktasya Vishayan Yatharham Upayunjataha. He is utilizing in Krishna's service. Nirbandaha Krishna Sambandhe. He is not bound by the things around. He just utilizes it in Krishna's service. That is the summum bonum of this verse. That one should never forget one's constitutional position. That is why one has to always remember Krishna. What is the summum bonum of all the scriptures? Smartavya satatam Vishnu vismartavya na jatuchit. Sarva vidhi nishedasur etayor eva kinkaraha. The summum bonum of this verse is always remember Krishna. Okay, I saw a dream, but immediately understand, oh, this is conditioning. When I am awake, when I am seeing the things, oh, this is also belonging to Krishna. That is how one has to improvise on his perception that how to utilize everything in Krishna's service rather than developing dualities. So what is a duality? Sometimes I like something. Sometimes I hate something. That is why Krishna speaks this verse. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agamapayino nityaha tam sitikshasva bharata. Tolerate. Just tolerate the situation. You may not like a situation. Matra, tanmatras, the sense objects. Yes, they touch the senses or they come in contact with the senses. In tanmatras, you have smell. I may not like the smell. I may like it. But again, this is temporary. I may not like the taste. I may like the taste. Again, it is temporary. I may not like the touch. I may like. Again, it is temporary. I may not like the sight. I may like. I may not like the sound. I may like. So these are the dualities. So tanmatras, they appear, they disappear. Krishna says, matras sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkhada agamapayino nityatam sitikshasva bharata. Just tolerate the situation. In the sleeping stage, you see something. You saw a nice, wonderful ice cream. But you don't have money to buy. But in the dream, you ate the ice cream. When you woke up, you were crying. Oh, this was just a dream. Oh, I saw a wonderful ice cream. I saw so many ice creams. But I'm so poor that I cannot buy. So what happened? This is tanmatra. Tolerate the situation. When I am awake, Again, I went to an ice cream parlor and I saw wonderful ice creams. I have saw so much of money. I purchased and then thought that this is the only thing which is going to give me happiness. So that is illusion again. Considering something to be the cause of illusion, to be the cause of happiness, or to be the cause of misery is our ignorance. And that is because of this ignorance, we are put into this birth and death cycle. What is the meaning of ignorance? Aham mama iti ajnanam. Ignorance also means agyanta. What is agyanta? Aham mama. Aham, I am everything. Mama, this belongs to me. So aham mama iti ajnanam. And in simple words, forgetfulness of Krishna. So that is the meaning of ignorance. So in ignorance, what happens? I see the things to be the cause of my misery or my happiness. So in this verse, very specifically it has been said, whatever you see around is actually energy of Krishna. One has to understand this. Whatever we see around, Jada Brahman, Jiva Brahman, Jada Brahman, Jiva Brahman, energy of Krishna. Brahman means energy. So whatever we see is energy of Krishna. Naturally, it has to be utilized in the service of Krishna. So one cannot develop any hatred or any choice regarding the sense objects. Oh, this should be utilized for my sense gratification. No. Or I'm just frustrated with this body. I should give it up. So there is a nice example of Sanatana Goswami meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When Sanatana Goswami meets Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, before that, he develops a skin disease on the way coming in contact with some water. He got skin disease. Pus, blood used to ooze out from his body. So he used to stay a little far and take darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord himself. And he knows everything. He used to come and hug Sanatana Goswami. So the blood and the pulse used to stick on Chaitanya's body. So this was very embarrassing for Sanatana Goswami. So even though he used to try to avoid coming in close contact with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he used to see from far, but still Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to come and hug him. So then he decided, I should give up this body. Rath Yatra is coming. I'll just lie down on the street and let the Ratha pass from my body. So in this way, he decided to give up the body. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the day of Rath Yatra said, what you have decided, Sanatan? Is this body belonging to you? This body belongs to me. So when the thing belongs to me, what rights you have to destroy this body? In the same way, everything belongs to Krishna, even time belongs to Krishna. Time, place, things around, everything belongs to Krishna. How best I can utilize my time in Krishna's service? That is most important. We have heard the English proverb, time and tide waits for no man. And again, this is very, you cannot understand this verse until and unless how to utilize the time should be taught. If the time is not utilized properly, then it doesn't wait for anyone, time goes away. So material world is compared to the waves of illusory energy. Krishna's illusory energy, Maya potency. Again, Krishna says, Mama Maya, she's my Maya. Mama Maya Duratteya, very difficult to cross. Mama Maya Duratteya, Mameva ye prapadyante Maya etam tarantite. How can you come out of this illusory energy? Just by taking shelter of Krishna. Understanding the three aspects of Krishna. Krishna is present everywhere. So it so happened in one of the Muslim school, madrasa, the Qazi taught, Allah is there everywhere. God is there everywhere. So this boy was studying in that madrasa. He asked, oh, if God is there everywhere, is he present in the stool also? Oh. Then the teacher said, hey, shut your mouth. Why are you talking all bad things? Then he went to his mother, came back to the house, asked his mother, Mama, I heard today God is present everywhere. Then God should be present in the stool also. Mother told, hey, shut your mouth. What bad things you're talking? Like this, he asked everywhere. He was growing. By the time he forgot. Then he became a big engineer. But unfortunately, he was in a bad company. So once they all went to a hotel, drank, completely intoxicated. All his friends ran away. But this person was caught by the manager and was locked inside a godown. So till what time he slept, he also was not knowing till what time that intoxication effects was going. So then he woke up the next day, what time he also doesn't know. But he saw a beam of light falling on a book. And there he saw, if God is present everywhere, God is present in the stool also. Oh, he came out of all the intoxication. He found a stool, and then somehow he removed that book. And that book was Back to Godhead magazine, written by Srila Prabhupada. Then he searched out the place, joined ISKCON center, full-fledged, became a wonderful brahmachari. So God is present everywhere. God is present in the stool also, but unaffected. That is why he's Achyuta. One who never falls from his position. That is why he's Achyuta. Abhyayaha, Achyutaha. He never falls down from his position. Similar example is given for Bhishma Pitamaha also in the second chapter. Krishna says, Mahapurushas, though they are there on the side of adharma, but they are unaffected. At that time, the example is given of sun drying the stool. Sun dries the stool. Sun melts the snow, but still unaffected. When Lord's energies, potencies are unaffected, then how Lord will be affected? So Lord is present everywhere, but Lord is unaffected. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he was going for passing, at the time, he was catching hold of his mouth. There was a small boy, Gopal. He says, oh Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, why are you catching hold of your mouth? He says, what to do? When I open, I'm just chanting and I have to go and pass. Then he said, we should chant everywhere. This Gopal is telling. And Lord wanted him to speak, a small boy. Lord wanted him to speak, that is why this Leela is done. The boy says, what is wrong if you chant while passing? Lord is present everywhere, and at what time I'm going to leave the body, I don't know. Antakale cha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. I don't know where my antakal is going to come, or where am I going to leave the body. So one should chant everywhere. Okay, we cannot take the beads, but we can chant the holy name of Lord. So Lord is not lost for a fraction of a second for a self-realized soul. Similar example is also there of Hanuman and a devotee. The devotee is chanting Ram's name and passing urine. At the time Hanuman is crossing, Hanuman is very angry. Hanuman comes and gives him a blow. And then he goes to Saket. There, Prabhu Ram is sitting like this. Then what happened? If you beat, then what will happen to me? I said, how can I beat you, O Lord? Yes, when a devotee is chanting, I dance in his lips, and you came and gave me a big blow. So at the time, Hanuman realized that Lord's name can be chanted every time. So for a self-realized soul, Lord is not lost because he sees everything in connection with Krishna. And he knows how to utilize the things in Krishna's service, that and understanding also that the things, if I see with connection to Krishna, then it is real. If I don't see in connection to Krishna, then it is unreal. It is Maya. So it is very important for every devotee and everyone that how to utilize the things in Krishna's service. Prabhupada did that. Acharya set an example. They are not allergic to the modern equipments. It is not that I don't want to use the computers, I don't want to use mobiles, let me give up everything, let me be a renounced person because everything is anyhow unreal. Let me go and take Vairagya. So Gadadhar Pandit, he was a Vairagi right from the childhood. And everyone knows that he's a great devotee, he's a great Vaishnava. When he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu going in ecstasy just by hearing the name of Pundarik Vidyanidhi. So he wanted to know who is this Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sent him along with Mukunda. So now he was completely having that faith. Yes, Pundarik Vidyanidhi is a great Vaishnava and also he must be a renounced person like me. But when he came to the place where Pundarik Vidyanidhi stayed, he saw all opulent things around Pundarik Vidyanidhi. He himself has a wonderful hairstyle, sitting on a wonderful couch, having canopies above him, having a palki with a lot of accessories, having his servants fanning him with a peacock feather fan. So I was just thinking, such a materialistic person, using everything for himself. What faith on Pundarik Vidyanidhi was lost. So Mukunda came to know this. So Mukunda chanted a verse. Aho bakiyam stanakala kutam. He chants the verse. And even though Putana, bakiyam refers to Putana, comes with poisoned breast to kill Krishna. But still Krishna gives her the position of Dhatri. So when Pundarik Vidyanidhi is hearing this verse, he goes in ecstasy, 8 transformation happens in his body. So Ashtavikara, such ecstatic symptoms are happening in the body. And in that ecstatic mood, he is just kicking the things around. He is rolling, his hairstyle is gone. He is kicking the couch, he is kicking the palki, he is kicking the accessories around. He has broken everything. Now the question arises, why did he keep the things around him? And then, why did he break them? Comes now. Because everything belongs to Krishna. Then you should not utilize that thing for your sense gratification. And then, after hearing this verse, you're breaking the things on top of that. The question may come. So answer to this is, sometimes out of in the society, a person has to stay. A rich man can attract a rich man. Etat pratim mama bahumatam janma janmantarepi. Out of thousands of, maybe out of previous birth, some pious activity. Somebody is born in a rich man's house. Or somebody may be yoga brashta bijayate. Because we have the words yoga brashta bijayate, prapya punya kritam lokanushitva shashvatim samaha, shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga brashta bijayate. He is born in a rich man's house or in a family of a very learned person. So if he is born in a rich man's house, so how will he stay in the society? And if he has some responsibility, naturally he will also dress himself in a rich way, with a rich paraphernalia around him. And in this way, he can attract rich people and give Krishna consciousness to them. Anyhow, he is not lost from the Krishna consciousness, because very clearly Krishna says, even if a person has done a small thing, Neha Vikramanashosti, even if a person is small thing, Swalpamappya Dharmasya, still he will be getting devotional service in the next birth. But Yoga Brashta Vijayate, he has done so much. Then how devotion can be lost? So by his opulence, he is attracting rich person and giving Krishna consciousness to him by developing friendship. Suppose he is born in a Brahmin's family or a learned person's family, Brahmin's family. So that is why it is said, devotees, Prabhupada says, devotees should do Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav. Why? So that they can memorize the verses. It is not that if a person doesn't know any verses, he cannot go back home, back to Godhead. We have the example of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu going to Sri Rangam and meeting Gopal, meeting a Brahmana who was not knowing even how to catch Bhagavad Gita. He was holding the Bhagavad Gita upside down and crying. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you know the essence of Gita. Because he says, why am I crying? Because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is asking, why are you crying? Because I can see that Lord, even though Achyuta has taken the position of a driver, Parthasarthi, he is Bhaktavatsala. So if a person is not educated, it doesn't matter. He's chanting the holy name, he can go back home, back to God very easily. But if a person is a scholar and is studying Bhagavad Gita and studying Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, it is his duty to give it to the jivas, or it becomes jiva pradha. Jiva daya Krishna nama sarva dharma sara. So if he has to attract a Brahmin who is very knowledgeable in the Vedas, then he has to present in a scholarly way. So Yoga Brashta Vijayate, he has appeared in a Brahminical family, but he has to come in contact with a devotee. That is why devotees have to present in a very scholarly way, giving the quotations. Many of the verses which is highly quoted by himself in verses quoted book. So it is our duty to study that and memorize the verses. And suppose he has to attract a so-called materialistic knowledgeable person, like he is a very great engineer, very great doctor, very scholarly person, then he should also know something about science. That is why we have this book, Scientific Basis. So that is the only reason why the things has to be utilized in Krishna's service. Again, it is only for Krishna's service only. It's not that you can throw the things, whatever you have. No, you have to utilize for preaching purposes. Sometimes a person becomes very famous. Sometimes people criticize him. So when he becomes famous, immediately you should understand, yes, it is for Krishna's service. When he is criticized, immediately one should understand, yes, Krishna wants to teach me that I should not be carried away by the glorification I am getting. That is why a person should come out of his dualities, because material energy has these dualities. Sometimes praise, sometimes criticism. Again, these are material energy only, but utilized in Krishna's service. See, duality is many things. Again, it is for Krishna's service. Sometimes you become world famous. You have many followers. People praise you. You should understand. Again, it is for service of Krishna. So many people follow you, give Krishna consciousness. And sometimes people criticize you. You'll be thrown out. But again, we should understand, yes, that is also for Krishna's service. So that I can reclaim myself, even if I have got a small pride, or whatever pride, Krishna knows, he knows to measure. He is giving a wonderful chance to chant the holy name and do my sadhana more nicely. So in this way, whatever things we have around, we are conditioned. But one can come out of this conditioning just by seeing the things around as objects for Krishna's service. Everything is for Krishna, by Krishna, of Krishna. If we have this type of vision, then it is very easy to stay in this material world without getting bound. Yagyathat karmano netra lokoyam karma bandhanah tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. Yagyathat karmano netra. Everything is for his purpose. Yagyathat karmano netra lokoyam karma bandhanah. If I don't use it for his purpose, then what happens? Karma bandhanah. That is how this ignorance, if this ignorance is there, that these things are for my purpose or for somebody's purpose, then I am bound, and that is ignorance. And that makes me do lot of materialistic activities which can be categorized as pious or impious. Whatever it may be, pious or impious, it is vikarma only. Something is known as sakarma, something is known as vikarma. But one has to cross this sakarma, vikarma, because Prabhupada categorizes both as vikarma only. And become and do akarma or become a akarmi. Akarma means do everything in Krishna's service. Keep Krishna in the center, utilize every moment in a service. Don't forget Krishna. Smartavya satatam Vishnu. While chanting, yes, I am remembering Krishna. But what about other time? When I go to office, I forget Krishna. When I do some work, I forget Krishna. Oh, this is the eating time of Krishna. I should offer bhoga. Oh, it is the waking time of Krishna. So sometimes a person is in the house, but still he forgets. Why? He is so absorbed in the activity that he has forgotten that it is eating time, it is sleeping time. That is why Srila Prabhupada says, deity worship makes us remember Krishna. Smartavya satatam Vishnu, vismartavya na chatuchit. Chanting makes us remember Krishna, deity worship makes us not forget Krishna. Not forget Krishna even for a fraction of a second. If a person is absorbed in deity worship, yes, he knows. Early morning, I have to wake up Krishna. I have to dress Krishna. I have to offer wonderful bhogas. So in this way, Srila Prabhupada has scheduled the time of the devotee very nicely. Even if he is going to office, he knows that he has to chant. He goes to the office, he works, he gets some money, utilizes it in Krishna service. He does charity. He brings some vegetables for house. So in this way, the house where he is, that is utilized in Krishna service, it is not his house. Very clearly it has been said, dharmasva nishtata pumsam vishwakshena kathasu yana utpadite diritim shramayeva kevalam. If it is not utilized in Krishna service, shramayeva hi kevalam. You are just working hard. Generally we teach children, work hard, work hard. It's actually hardly work. What work hard? So work is worship, work is worship. No, worship is the only work. That is why you have a house. The house becomes, because we are not at that elevated stage of Goswamis that we can just go without any roof. Goswamis had no house. They used to wander in the wonderful forest of Vrindavan. But we need a house to do our sadhana because we are sadhakas. We need a house, we need a family, so that the family supports us in elevating ourselves in Krishna consciousness. The whole family works in that mood. You're earning so that you're utilizing it in Krishna service. Yes, for being in a society, yes, you should have some, because you have to attract people towards you. Again, attract people towards you, not for showing your opulence, so that somehow you hook them in Krishna consciousness. Srila Prabhupada, when he used to meet small children or young boys, he used to speak the subject what they were interested. Like somebody is very interested in football, Prabhupada used to deeply speak on that subject. So then young boys used to get attracted. Oh, being a Swamiji, he knows so much about this subject. Immediately he used to hook. And they used to become friend of Srila Prabhupada. And in this way, Prabhupada used to hook them in Krishna consciousness. Yena kena prakarena. Hook people in Krishna consciousness. For that, one should understand, whatever positions, material positions, Lord gives us, utilize it in Krishna service. Utilize each and everything in Krishna service. One of my students is in a very high position in government. So he was telling Mataji, sometimes this position is too much. I feel like resigning this post. I said, no, utilize. Guru Maharaj also has to utilize everything in Krishna's service. Whatever matter is there, material things around us, the positions, with a perfect understanding that these positions are not mine. Sarvopadi vinirmuktvam tatparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti uchate. Utilize all the senses in Krishna service. Sarvopadi vinirmuktam. Internally, don't be attached to the position. Don't be attached to the praises. Don't be attached to the family people. Chitraketu, this is example of Chitraketu. Chitraketu was too much attached to his son. But as soon as the child is born, the child is dead. Narada brings the child back. But then the child says, and he has an option to enter the body and live with his parents. The child says, who are these people? I don't know. In this way, I have gone through many, many birth and death cycle. I have been changing so many parents. So why I should take them as my parents? I don't know. Now hearing this, Chitraketu and his wives, and his wife was lamenting, who lost the son. They got freed from the attachment. Especially Chitraketu, after performing all the rituals, he just took the shelter of Narada. Narada gives him a wonderful mantra and says, chant this mantra. And he will go back home, back to Godhead. Lord will appear. So in this way, Chitraketu, he chanted and he got Adishesha, Balaram himself appearing before him. Who is Balaram? Expansion of Krishna himself. So he got the mercy of Lord, and Lord tells to him that whatever you see around, whatever opulences you have, whatever samartha you have, you utilize in Krishna's service. Don't see that as they are. If you're seeing as they are, then that is Maya, that is illusion. Come out of this conditioning. Then Lord is not lost even for a fraction of a second. Hare Krishna. Any doubts based on this? I think the time is from 4:50 to 6.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji, very, very wonderful Mataji. Basically, you just summed up very nicely that everything, whatever we have, opulences, and if there's some drawbacks we see, it is that Krishna is teaching us that there is a lesson to learn from it and grow from it. And if we have everything opulences, it is because use him in his service and always remember him. So much wonderful Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yes, Krishna Prabhuji, please go ahead and ask your questions or realizations, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Mute your phone.
Hare Krishna, Narayani Mataji, wonderful class, so nice, wonderful. So you were telling about seeing Krishna everywhere, but in the material world, you can see that what Krishna had told that Dukkale Masashvatam, that this material world is a miserable world. But Prabodhananda Saraswati, he had told that actually Sukhalayam, everything is fine, wonderful. But again, Chaitanya Babu is when he has come, he is telling Krishna, 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 he is crying. So the same Supreme Lord has told this miserable world, and as a pure devotee, he is seeing everything Sukhalayam Shashvatam. And in the same Supreme Lord is telling where is Krishna. So there is so much changes in the same. Can you just explain on
So
that?
how to harmonize all the statements?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ashashvatam Dukkhalam is for the materialistic person. Shashvatam Sukhalam is for a devotee. So for a devotee, Lord is not lost. Even though sitting in the dirty place as Prabhupada sat in Prabhupada. And there, Prabhupada is writing all these purports. Lord is not lost for a devotee. Where is Lord? Everybody looks up. Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayam.
It got muted.
Yeah, somebody is calling. So, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena. This person's eyes is always anointed with love of Krishna. So that is why Sukhalayam. Because spiritual world is not far. It's very close. I am not able to see Krishna. Why? Because I have not yet got that love, that loving eyes. So I'll tell you an example. Once we had gone to Vrindavan, and there is an ashram. And there is a painting done by a blind saint. And we had cautioned the devotee, please don't say, Andha Baba ka painting dikhao. Don't ask this. Show Andha Baba ka painting. We cautioned the devotee. Somebody asked, because Kirtan was going on, he was very impatient to see. Andha Baba ka painting dikhao. So immediately, the pujari over there got so annoyed. He said, Andha, your father is Andha, blind. Your mother is Andha. In this way, started just criticizing and shouting. And then when they showed us, we were surprised. We were surprised to see, even if a person has eyes, they cannot draw such beautiful painting. So for seeing Lord, I don't require a gross eyes. There is an eye within the mind. That is why Savai Mana Krishna Padarvindayi. So for seeing Lord, I don't require a gross eyes. Surdas used to sing the Darshanarti. Everybody doubted Surdas. That time what they did, one day they did not dress Lord and told, sing now. Surdas in the Pada, he says, Nagname Magna Nanda Kishore. So I don't require a gross eyes to see. So in the same way, for a pure devotee, Lord is not lost, he is always in the spiritual world. That is why Sukhalam Shashvatam. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he shows that how should be a sadhaka. He should always search Krishna and try to find Krishna in each and everything. Oh, where is my Krishna? Kothai, Kothai, where is my Krishna? And in this way, a sadhaka can attain pure devotion by searching Krishna everywhere. And in this way, having that deep, intense feeling of separation, then that bhava and prema can be aroused. Yugaitam nimeshena chakshusha pravrushaitam shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda. What is the use of all these things if I am not able to serve Krishna? So that type of intense agony should be there, separation should be there.
Thank you very much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Minutes.
Thank you so much.
Stop here.
In the chat box, Parima Mataji, fantastic class, Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisance. Thank you so much for your wonderful service. There is a comment. Is any other devotees who would like to ask questions?
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Guru Shri Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Narayani Laxmi Mataji, for coming on the call and giving class. Very, very nice, wonderful class. Whole Krishna consciousness you put in one class. So nice, so wonderful. I like the story of that boy who was learning in madrasa, how he found the Back to Godhead magazine and became Krishna conscious devotee. Thank you so much, Mataji. Wonderful.
Hare Krishna. Thank you
Yeah.
for giving the opportunity. Any doubt is there? Panchakalpatarubhyascha kripasindhubhyaivacha patitanam pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo
Namo
namo
Namaha.
namaha.
Granth Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai.
Jai.
Prabhupada
Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Thank you very much. Thank you so
Narayani
much,
very
Mataji.
much,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Gauranga.
Gauranga.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Nityananda. Gauranga.
Nityananda,
Gauranga.
Gauranga.
Hare
Gauranga.
Radhe,
Jai
Radhe.
Shri
Hare
Radhe
Krishna, Krishna
Shyam.
Krishna, Hare Hare,
Sarvamala
Radhe
Vrindavan.
Hare
Radhe,
Ram,
Radhe.
Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Govardhan
Radhe,
Giridhar
Thank
ki
you,
Radhe.
jai.
Mataji. Wonderful class. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna, Radhe,
Krishna.
Krishna
Radhe.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare
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 Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram,
Hare
Ram
Ram,
Ram,
Ram
Hare
Ram,
Hare.
Hare Hare.
Lalita Mataji
Hare
and
Krishna.
Radhe,
Hare
Nanda
Radhe.
Prabhu. Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Wonderful, wonderful
Yeah.
class.
Thank
Bhakti
you so
Sangha
much.
Gopal
Japat
Mataji.
Group
Hare
ki
Krishna.
jai.
Jai.
Radhe, Radhe.